morning, everyone.
Morning.
Have you ever found a baby bird on the ground? Anyone? Yes? And what did you do?
We picked it up, took it inside, and called the animal shelter to figure out what we needed to do.
It was hard to figure out what to do, wasn't it? Well, some of you might find baby birds on the ground, especially in spring, and you may not know what to do. I've been rescuing birds for the past 4 years, and I keep gathering information from bird specialists in order to improve the quality of care the birds receive. And I'd like to tell you first why it is not a good idea to rescue a wild bird, and then if you do so anyway, what you can do to take care of the bird, and finally how a very special relationship developed between a small bird and my family. So first, what do you do if you see a young bird on the ground? If it is a very young bird, try to put him back in his nest. If it is a bird with quite a few feathers, it's probably a fledgling, and the parents are still watching over him. So try to put him in a shrub or in a tree, and leave him alone. If it is a bird of prey, you need to call Fish and Game Department. And if the bird is injured or sick, call a wildlife rehabilitator. So why you should not raise a wild bird? First, try to remember that it is time-consuming. Baby birds require to be fed every 20 minutes from dawn until dusk. And you are not going to be able to teach the bird the skills he needs for his survival, like looking for food, avoiding predators, and communicating with other birds. Moreover, try to remember these facts. Birds are very fragile. Most of them die when in human care. And according to the Florida Audubon Society brochure, 75% of birds that are rescued every year by well-intentioned people do not need help. Many young birds may look orphaned, but in reality, they are being well cared for. So it is not recommended to raise a wild bird because you will very likely do more harm than good. If, however, you truly believe that you can help a young bird in distress and you are willing to learn how to properly take care of him, then here is some information to help you become foster parents of a bird. So how are you going to raise the bird? First, try to make the bird as comfortable as possible. Try to place him in a soft cup-shaped nest of tissue or paper towel in a warm place and in a quiet room away from people and pets. So you keep the bird as warm as possible, between 95 and 100 degrees. Then what are you going to feed the birds? Bits of cat kibble is the best food you can find. Actually, in an emergency, it's the best. You soak these bits of kibble in warm water. You can add a hard-boiled egg yolk, and wheat germ will be great. Do not overfeed the baby bird. Feed him every 20 to 30 minutes, but do not give him water either. One drop, just one drop, can cause pneumonia, which is always fatal. And do not give bread or milk. They are lactose intolerant. So when the young bird is moving around on its own, it's time to start weaning away from hand feeding, and you are going to place the young bird in a roomy cage. Now you're going to try to make the bird become independent. You are going to give him small dishes with food and water inside, and you add some, for example, cooked ground lean beef and pieces of fruits like apples, mealworms, crickets, bird seeds. And when you see that the bird is eating well enough to sustain himself, you are going to free him. It's time to free him. So place the cage outside, in a safe place in your backyard usually, and leave the cage door open so the bird can come back and keep supplying food and water inside so he can eat if he needs to. Freeing a bird is very exciting for you as well as for the bird. And the bird might even come back to your backyard sometimes. Well, the first bird we raised chose to stay with us. And here is a very special bond developed between her, my husband, and me. So she's a female grackle. You see a lot of grackles around town. They are large black birds. The males are very black. They have a beautiful tail. They are called great-tailed grackles, actually. And the females are much smaller, and they are brown. So we call her Honeybird, and she spent a lot of time with us. She played with us a lot. And here is her picture when she was a few months old only. Let's make it big. So, anyone recognize this kind of bird, maybe?
Yeah.
And here she is when she was older and able to fly at the Alameda Park. And she was very playful. She loved to tease us also with small objects she would take away from us. And we had to pretend we really cared about the objects, so she kept teasing us. And we went on long walks every day with her. So we really bonded with her. And we saw her as our daughter. But we understood that it was very important for her to live her life as a free bird. And we encouraged her to leave. So at first she would leave for a few minutes, then a few hours, and then she would leave after breakfast and come back before sunset. And one evening in June, she did not come back home. It was, however, not the end of our relationship. It was the beginning of an even richer one. And we saw her a few days later at the park. She was a mature female, ready to mate, have babies. But she made it clear that she would always see us as her parents. And she resumed playing with us, walking with us every day. And people see us, of course, interacting with her. We try to be discreet, but sometimes it's not possible. So when she just lands on our shoulder, we're talking with someone, they say, what's going on? And everybody usually say the same thing. This is a miracle. And yes, she is a miracle. She makes my day. And I'm not having a good day if I don't see her every day. So it's important for me to go and meet with her. So now you understand better why just a casual walk at the park one day changed our life. And if you ever find a baby bird on the ground, you will face the situation with more assurance, knowing that you're doing the right thing for the small creature. People often tell us, well, you saved her. And I always reply, Honeybird saved us. She saved us from ignorance. We understood, thanks to her, that birds are very intelligent and how important it is to treat them with a lot of respect. And here are a few more pictures of her. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Oh, actually, let's see this one. It's her as an adult at the blind school, meeting with us. Any questions? Maybe someone remember the Alamogordo paper? Do you ever read the news? So she was front page 2 times actually. In 2006 and 2008 she made the news. Can you imagine? Just a little girl making the front page news. Of course everybody was teasing my husband, saying, wow, yeah, she's front page. And we say, well, people like to hear good news sometimes, not just bad news.